Hey guys, what is up? Jeff here for One Fish, Two Fish. Today we are going to take a look at one of the most popular fish in the hobby. We did just get an order of them in, so we have a couple of different ones to show you guys. It's certainly not a full selection that we were hoping we were going to get, but we got about a third of what we were hoping, so we do have some different ones in today. We are going to show you our beta setup, and we are going to show you some cool betas. So in every fish store, you will have some type of beta selection. Normally, especially unless it is just a reef store, obviously, you will see some type of beta selection. Betas are super easy to take care of. They need a handful of things for care. If you give them those things, they will usually thrive for you. We have the ability to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 32. So our two systems that we have right now will hold 64 betas. We also have a hiding spot in the back that can hold up to another 100. So we can kind of rotate that. We can bring new ones out as they sell. We haven't actually filled that up in a little while because the supplier for betas has had very little. And actually they're one of the fish that have gone up quite a bit in the last couple months. But I am going to show you guys a couple of what we have in stock right now. And also you'll see, let me show you this here. So we also have a list up top that will show, we've got all of our care sheets. You'll see these all over our store. But we have letters on all of them. So when you go through all of the tanks, and then if they don't have a letter on it, there's just usually no beta in it. So we got in about a third of what we could have what we had actually ordered today. So all the ones that say CT, you just look up on the sheet and it will say crown tail or crown tail fancy or whatever. So CTs are just some basic crown tails. I'll show you guys a couple of little pictures of some of these fellas. These are just a very regular, you know, not I don't want to say not anything special, but just a very regular beta. We've also got what we have called HM. Those are half moons. Again, a very simple one. PH. Those are placat hellboys. And man, oh man, are they ever nice. Look at that. Look at him. Very, 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 very pretty beta. Oh, guys, I got to take a minute on these. These are, look at that for it. That is just a crazy, just a beautiful fish. I'm actually going to save the one I think is nicest to last. And then just a couple more half moons. But those placat hellboys are super nice. And then the bottom two rows have nothing. Just a couple of very simple veil tails. Some more half moons. Some DT, I'm going to go with double tail. They don't, oh yeah, DT double tails. And the nicest ones we got. They are called placat avatars. Look at this fish. It is jet black with some nice blue. Look at this fish. I need him to move around a little bit. Look at the different color. I don't know how good my... Let me see if I can kind of zoom in a little bit on him. Man, that is a something kind of beta. And then there's another fella right here, just full of color. You can't really tell exactly. He needs to move around a little bit. Again, there is a couple of these that are not jumping around yet. These have just gone in the tank a couple hours ago. So usually the ones that are not, that are kicking at the bottom, are ones that we had just cleaned the top and the flow is a little bit better on them. Look at some of these. Some of these are crazy. So this is what the beta system looks like from afar. It is just like one of our big systems, just sort of bite-sized. Obviously, these are not what betas should live in. You know, something to remember, guys, when you are beating up your local fish store. Most of our tanks are not designed to be forever homes. They are designed to be holding tanks until they go to their forever homes. Now, we put a lot of extra care into like the filter socks, the sumps, the filters, the media, and different stuff that we can, so we can keep the levels to where they're safe, where they're, again, I don't want to say happy. No beta is going to be happy in a 1/3 of a gallon little cube. That's not its purpose. Its purpose is to hold them. Now, when you see this and say, you know, that is way too small for a beta, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is too small for a beta. But all of these will be gone this week. So when we bring in betas, we usually bring in enough that you know, we can move them within a period of time where it's really not going to affect the beta that much. And then the other unit is the same. Each one holds 32. And then at the bottom, our bottoms have all been beat up on these, so they've just been flooded so many times and they've been wet so many times. So it just basically has a little sump underneath, just same as a saltwater system would. All of the tanks, you can see, they all have little drip bubbles underneath it. Betas don't actually like a lot of water, a lot of flow and that sort of thing, so you just see here, there we go. So it all drains in here, and then we have got a ton of marine pier in there to hold bacteria, and then we just have a return pump that just pumps all the water back up into these. And then our back room setup is actually a little more low tech than this. The back room setup is it's not actually filtered; it's aerated. Each one has its own little air. Again, nothing lives in there for more than they have a set amount of time where it can stay in there, where after that we just demand that it be out, or we won't bring in enough. I'm trying to not kick this over. Or we won't bring in any more than we can handle to do that. So I believe it's 3 days that we will keep them in that system, just because it isn't, and they're always fine in it, but this is much better water. Like I said, you can see even all the ones that, you know, a few minutes ago were kind of laying around are already. I just came over to this guy because he was just swimming around, but of course as soon as I got here, he decided to flip and stare at me again. Look at some of these guys. Man, oh man, these are beautiful betas. Look at the color. So, guys, you can find just a ton of information on betas online. There's lots of videos on care. There is lots of knowledgeable people on different forums, different pages. Any freshwater fish store you go to, if they're selling betas, will probably have somebody in there that really likes the betas. Find that person and talk to them. They will give you they'll probably give you over advice, even more so than you need. I know we do have a staff that does that here, that will upsell the house that they need, because they are able to live in a very small tank. They're able to survive in different spots. Doesn't mean they're happy. So obviously you want to make, I know a lot of people say a 5 gallon. I think a 5 is actually a little bit, I mean, I've had some really nice beta setups at 3 gallons that have been filtered, that have had heaters in them, that the betas have lived 6 years. If you can keep a beta alive for 6 years, it's a happy beta. 6 years is a very good life for a beta. You know, lots will do 2, 3, 4 years. So just make sure you get the actual, you know, filtered water is really good. A heater, very helpful. They could survive without it, but very helpful. And it'll just give you, and it will keep. This guy spun around. Look at this, you guys. Man, oh man, that's gorgeous. Look at the color of that beta. Man, that thing is nice. That's the Placat Avatars. Man, that thing is nice. Anyway, guys, I hope you like taking a look at different stuff that we have in here. If you like that video, be sure to subscribe. We basically will go around at some point and show you all of our setups, how we store different fish, how we keep different fish, how we import different fish, and that sort of thing. We'll do one on the betas actually one of these days where we bring in a big order of them, where we're stocking everything. We also supply a couple other stores with betas, so there are times when we bring in 300 plus betas. So one of the times we do that, we'll show you guys the whole batch of them. It's actually a little disheartening how they ship them, but they must know how they do it, because we never lose a single beta. I'll show you every one that we'll go through, and we won't have a single dead one. They never, the way they ship, they never lose them, but they come in very small packages. It's kind of crazy to see how little they are. Anyway, guys, we hope you like that. We'll see you in the next one.